Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Stella Rosebella, where I talk about the latest Asian drama music and shows. Today I want to talk about the Road to Splendor, my initial review of this drama so far. So let's get into it. So the cast, we have Ding Yuxi, who plays Zhao Ling, and we have Deng Enxi, who plays Fu Tingyun. So these are the main characters. And the screenwriter actually worked with Ding Yuxi on Romance of Tiger and Rose. So in this drama, I think like what caught my attention, obviously I feel like for a lot of people who watch this drama, is the opening scene. We see that there is a wedding happening and also a funeral procession happening, and they're like crossing each other's path. And it's interesting, and also like at the same time you hear in the intro talking about these chastity plaques. And chastity plaques is something that the emperor gives to the family if the husband did something like contributed to the country. And also this plaque is for the wife who didn't remarry after the husband passed away, and so she didn't remarry for many years. And another thing is that these chastity plaques, they also is sort of seen to the other people, like outside of the family, like as a virtue. Like, see, like the wife didn't marry someone else and stuff. So yeah, so that's like sort of like how the family is seen by other people. So in this drama, one thing that I feel very like is very known, 就是 a lot of like, I guess like old ways of thinking, especially when you see the scene where the grandma is with Ting Yun and they're watching this opera going on, and the grandma is telling Ting Yun, like, obviously in the drama, as you know, it's like her job and what Ting Yun is to the family. It's like, for a lady to sort of like live, I guess in some way, for a lady to, find a good life and everything, the future and everything, it all depends on your husband. And when I saw that scene, I was like, I understand like the setting and everything, but I was like, I don't agree with you. And so that was like interesting. Another scene that like the grandma, as you know, she, after she found out that her granddaughter probably lost, and so what she did was like, I'm not gonna let this news spread out to the outside of this family, like to the outside people. So you're gonna go bye bye. And even though you're my granddaughter, she also said that years later, maybe we'll have another granddaughter. So, this granddaughter, okay, bye. You're no use to me anymore. So, and I was just like, so in this drama, I think what's interesting is not only about like the grandma representing sort of like the old ways and traditional, in some sense, like ways of thinking, but also you meet other female characters as well. So one of them that you meet first is Yu Furen, who really cares about her son's future, but also she thinks about like her husband's like future as well, like his work and how she does everything. And it's interesting, the conversation that she had with with her son, is because she told him like, do you think my only job as your as your mom is that I take care of the house and everything, and that's all I do? So like, how do you think like your dad, like, how well your dad is doing everything? You think he did it all alone? Like, if I didn't have the network, the connections and everything, you think, your dad is just, doing so well and everything? And I was just like, whoa. So another character that we meet is Yun Furen, who I feel like she sort of gave Ti Yun sort of like how the future may look like for you. And she talked about like how, as a woman, you should also have your own assets. But like money wise, yes, but also they should also have a house. Things that, you can't just like it doesn't just become your husband's assets. So that was a really interesting conversation that they had with each other. And she talked about like how money wise, when you marry into your husband's family, your money may be combined with your husband's money and becomes his, his money. So that was interesting in talking about sort of like, I guess, like a lot of situations that women are in during that time period. And so she's like, my daughters, like, I don't want them to go down like my path. So that's why I have all these things, like they should have their own house and, you know, a lot of things that they own themselves that can't become, you know, combined with their husbands. So that was like, I feel like that's a great sort of like lesson for Taeyoon. And I was just like, whoa, this is like really cool meeting all these uh, different officials and their wives, and they're just like, I was like, whoa. As for the relationship, the friendship that Taeyoon has with the second female lead, the character, I don't really know her friend, her childhood friend in some ways. I was not surprised by how it played out and the betrayal that she, like everything that she did. And I think like for me it was just like not something new to see a character do in a drama, but that whole process and everything, it's like she, like her friend believes that Yufuren's son has feelings for her, and like she's like, I don't want to be seen as, you know, below you and everything, like I don't want to, any of this anymore, so I'm gonna take control, and you know, and this guy is gonna be my future. And I was just like, all this for a guy after so many years, for a guy, I cannot. So that is how, what I feel about like relationship wise. But as for Taeyoon and Zaling's relationship, one thing that I really love is that Zaling, when, you know, Taeyoon needed help, she needed to throw up, and Zhao was telling her like, I can't help you, only you can help yourself. And that line, I feel like a lot of the times in dramas, it's you see the male lead coming in like saving the day and like helping the female like lead when, you know, she's in a difficult situation and stuff like that. So for that line to have the a pair like literally telling like, you know, telling the character like, only you can help yourself, I was just like, I really love that line. So this drama, what I love about it is that the two leads, Zhao Ling and Ting Yun, are growing together, you know, as a individually and also like obviously their relationship wise, like, you know. But like I really love that this drama starts out and seeing how they're slowly going up the ladder, and it's not like, because a lot of dramas I feel like a lot of time it's like, oh, this character is like really powerful and like they can do all these things, and you know nobody can, you know, go against them, and they, you know, all these things, and I'm just like, ah, you know, where's this? Like, it's been a while since I've seen a story like this. There is, but I feel like it's not as much as I like to, so that's like one thing. So this is what I think of the drama so far. Let me know what y'all think, and if you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye bye!